By the time I get through this story, you will agree with me when I say this individual needs to have a literal book thrown at him. I'm talking about a thesaurus-sized Harry Potter dictionary style book thrown at him. As a matter of fact, he'll need a few of them to be catapulted in his direction, where you learn about what this guy did. So this man's name is Julian Everett. He is a 35-year-old individual who lives, unfortunately, in close quarters to me. Like, he's from the PG County, DC area, so that's close to me. This man posed as a student from Howard University just so he could be in close quarters to rape teenage girls. Mind you, he is 35 years of age, and he pretended to be a student at an HBCU just so he could become in close proximity to young girls, to young teenage girls, just so he could rape them. And that's just in the title of the story. I haven't even gotten into the article itself, where it contains way more debauchery on his part. But we're about to talk about it right now. It says Julian Everett, a 35-year-old man from Maryland, is now behind bars after being accused of drugging and raping teens while pretending to be a Howard University student. He allegedly has a nearly 2-decade history of preying on women. So they say nearly 2 decades. So we're talking about since the early 2000s of him doing this. Since 2001, Everett, who owns a barbershop near the university, has been a sexual predator. At the age of 17, he was convicted of kidnapping a woman and beating her when he discovered she was a transgender. At least 3 other teens ages 16 to 18 were confirmed to have been raped by him in 2016, 2015, and 2005. Everett was arrested on several counts of rape and other related sex offenses in relation to the assaults. Everett's attorney, Jalil Dozier, claimed those are only allegations and he should be released under conditions of GPS monitoring. However, Assistant State's Attorney Melissa Hotmeyer stated Everett should remain in jail. That means they have something on him. Probably a lot of stuff. According to reports, 2 of the victims were Howard students, and he pretended to be a student to gain their trust through social media or at a party. He allegedly took them out on dates and incapacitated them by drugging them before taking them to his home in New Carrollton, Maryland, to rape them. I know where New Carrollton is located. New Carrollton from me is about maybe about 20 minutes away. After Everett had been arrested, State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy said they had received numerous calls from his potential other victims that police are now investigating. That is some wild ass shit. In more ways than one. The fact that this guy had to pretend to be a Howard University student alone, definitely it should be a charge. I mean, like, isn't there like a charge for pretending to be a student somewhere, like posing as someone that you're not? That's definitely a charge. Of course, the biggest charges is him raping underage girls. That's definitely the biggest charge or charges of them all. And they said he has a nearly 2-decade history of doing this. Now, this guy, what's so crazy about it is that this guy he owns his own barbershop near the college. So in a way, you can say he's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He should have just stopped right there. I don't know what led him to start doing what he's doing. But as you can see, it's pretty much going to land him in a pretty tight spot. And he deserves whatever and I do mean whatever, comes his way. It takes a very sick individual to pretend to be a student at a college or anywhere for that matter, just so you can come in close proximity to mess with young girls. It is some goddamn weirdos out here, and sometimes it's probably the people you least suspect. Because if this never came out, a lot of people will probably look at this guy as if he was completely normal. Like, be honest, if you was to see someone like him walking down the street, you probably was like, the last thing that would pop up into your head is that this guy is a serial rapist. And like they said, he posed as a student to gain their trust. So that pretty much proves my theory to be correct, because he had his real image out there, as far as I know. And he gained the trust of a lot of young women. And I'm sure as soon as they found out that he wasn't who he said he was, I couldn't even imagine what was going through their head. Now, he's most likely going to serve some time, and a lot of it, because he has a history of doing it, according to this article. And of course, look at his complexion. Oh, they're going to factor all of that in. Like I said, when they throw the book at him, it's probably going to be a literal book. But y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. And before I even conclude the video, I'm going to say to him that I say to all the others who do stuff like this. If it were up to me and how his punishment should be dealt with, because I know they won't do it, you can give, like I say, a good old nut crushing. Because I can't stand rapists or child molesters, anything like that. And this kind of, since these women were minors, like under the age of 18, some probably under the age of 17, that can go right up in there with pretty much child molestation. But I'm going to end the video on this note, and y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. And one last thing, just in case people in the comments would like to know if this guy actually did what he's accused of. According to this other article that I just found, they were able to use DNA evidence from 2005, from the 2005 case, and they were able to link all three of them together. So DNA is pretty much what exonerated him. Well, not exonerated, which convicted him, or charged him, I should say, which will probably end up convicting him as well.